Scream Cinema Review from the perspective of someone whose first introduction to the series was that movie. I'm gonna give it a 4 to 5 out of 10. I ain't gonna lie. Not awful, but definitely pretty bad. See, not really that big of a one, but acting wasn't great. Acting wasn't great, not gonna lie. But the main problem for me is the fact that it's like the movie doesn't know what it wants to be. Introduction to the series, right? I mean, to the movie, right? For my friend who watched other Scream movies, right? Is that it go along the horror comedy route. So it's not really seen before, right? But the thing is, the entire movie isn't, that scary. It doesn't have to be like absolutely terrifying, right? But it's just like, it could definitely be scarier, bro. And it just isn't that funny. When I say this, right, there's just so many inconsistencies of what the villain is doing, bro. I saw like the villain, spares like some people, even though like clearly we can see he really does not care who he kills. He's murking dudes over and over. But yeah, he just like, spares some of the two beloved characters somehow. And they're just walking with like, brutal knife wounds and everything, right? Okay. And some pretty stupid ways for the villain to get their way that are just really avoidable. And a few moments where they just do something that takes away the seriousness of the moment, which would be good if they didn't. Because the thing is, if it doesn't have a seriousness, then I gotta have some comedy, something to make it interesting. But no, it's just not really funny. It's just like something pretty dumb. It just kind of makes you angry. Like, okay, why are you doing this, right? I don't really got a problem with the main characters. Like how they're moving. I feel like they're moving pretty good, right? It's just everything else, the whole way the thing went, right? And it just definitely got worse as the film went on, especially at the ending. The ending does not hype you up as much as you would want to be, or as much as the film wants you to be. And I ain't gonna lie, bro, I was pretty satisfied, but at the same time, bro, yeah, I just wanted it to end, bro. Get me out the chair a little bit, like you get hooked at the beginning. As things goes on, it just falls apart, right? Same time though, wouldn't say it's awful because I feel like at first time watching it, if you had like nothing to watch, right? You was bored, sure, put it on. It's not that bad. Where it's like you would genuinely be worse off watching it. Nah, it was cool to watch. I ain't gonna lie, it was cool to watch. In fact, it kind of exaggerated, the ending part a little bit. I did want to see it through again. I was like, okay, pretty good watching the movie the whole time. Of course, I definitely had the ways where it could have been better though, but still, 4 to 5 out of 10.